Another Blue Review time for you. Clinton Yates, Greg Bergman. Blue Review is presented by Los Angeles International Airport, where changes are arriving daily to help reduce traffic, save travelers time, and transform the travel experience. Clinton Yates, I was at the ballpark last night, and it was a lot of fun, except we might have a little bit of discussion we have to get into that I know you love so much. It's talking about robot umps. Yeah.
So first of all, for those of you who don't understand what happened last night, if you did not watch the game, the Dodgers were the beneficiary of one of the worst calls I've seen in a long time.
One of them, there was multiple.
I know, but that one was a run-scoring one that changed the outcome of this baseball game. All right, you can talk about strike zones, this, that, and the third. You can't get fair foul wrong. Like, strike zones are, arguable between human beings, blah, blah, blah. Fair foul, there's a line. It's right there. You can't get that wrong. And you can't get it wrong when you're moving. They had a run-scoring double that equalized the game on a ball that should have been fouled, that sent it to extras, and you're thinking, yeah, as they say, what are we doing? And like, that particular portion of the game was bad. What did you see with your eyeballs from the ballpark?
So from the ballpark, I saw, if we're talking about the umps just in general, Phil Cuzzy behind the plate, there was times, and this was against the Twins. It was very much a Dodger pro thing. So which, great, give me the win, I'll take it. Because at the end of the year, when you look at that win, you're not going to say, well, that one shouldn't really count. So either way, you could see how high his strike zone was. You could see how wide his strike zone, and I was kind of behind the plate. There was multiple times where there was a Twins batter, which I don't know any of their names. There was a Twins batter.
Well, Carlos Correa is one of them. He got booed mercilessly.
It was amazing. I'll get to that in just a second. But there was times where, multiple times where a Twins player was going towards first base, thinking that he walked, and then he'd get rung up. And you're like, from there I was like, ooh, that looked really high. Or like, oh, that looked really inside. Or, oh, that looked really outside. His strike zone was so crazy. How do you still not want robot umps, Clinton Yates?
Because, and listeners and viewers, go to your Google boxes. Google umpire saves catcher from tornado. It happened like 2 days ago. A robot could not pick up a child when there is a wind tunnel trying to take them away on a youth baseball field in Oklahoma. That's the only reason why. I'm joking, but that's true. That actually happened. But what I'm saying is that, like, I don't have a problem with strike zone stuff. If guys want to argue about strike zones and up and down, this, that, and the third, okay, I get that. That's annoying. It's at the plate, which means it happened more often. I can't deal with bad fair foul calls. That to me is, it doesn't make sense. It's like trying to use a fork when you're supposed to use a spoon. Like, what are we doing? Look at anyway, that upset me. Also, it was a run score situation that continued the game. Not the best umpired game last night.
No, it wasn't. So with that, for that play, it was David Peralta that hit the double. And it looked like I couldn't tell, but it looked like it went over the bag and then out of it. I can't see. So, from what I've seen from in the replays, it looked bad. And everybody that was around me was like, they're going to review that, right? That's going to get apparently you can't review it on a call fair.
In or out or safe and run scoring is when you can review. You can't review on just random calls. And so, like, it was like, bro, we're just act like that didn't happen. And like, I understand why the Dodgers won that game, because that like, the umpire during the course of a game, up and down in the strike zone, left to right, sure. That call legitimately changed the game, though. And I think rookie umpire didn't go great on the telecast either. I just felt like that was a really unfortunate situation that the Dodgers got to be a part of, but they went on a walk-off walk, which is like one of my favorite things in all of sports, never mind baseball.
No, I love the fact that it happened on a walk-off walk, but at the same time, Trace Thompson was the guy that worked the one-out walk. He's 0 for 30, 0 for his last 30. We've been talking about this guy for a bit.
You sent me that stat. You sent me that stat. I thought you were just sort of making up a number.
No.
Wow. Yeah. No, it was really something. So I have a quick story to tell about walk-off walks. First of all, shouts to, there was an old blog called Walk Off Walk, like,
that's a good one,
100 years ago, when people were naming their blogs after weird random stuff in baseball and creating their entire identities behind it. And so when I saw the walk-off walk yesterday, what they used to do was they would put a shrimp on a treadmill every single time you walk off walk. And like last night was shrimp on a treadmill territory. And it reminded me of one of my favorite moments in baseball history. I mean this, was when Mike Stanton for the Washington Nationals came into a game. This is post-Yankees career. He's trying to get his career together, comes to a game on the road in Milwaukee, throws 0 pitches, and loses the game on a walk-off balk. And I thought about that, and I was just like, I'm going to bed now. You know what I'm saying? We're already in extras. I can't believe this triggered this memory. Dodgers got a little lucky last night, Greg.
They did. Is that the worst way to go out if you're a pitcher? Is a walk-off balk, right? It's
walk
not
off
like
balk, sans any pitches thrown. I mean, I can't think of a scenario that's worse outside of hitting somebody and injuring them, especially if you haven't even thrown a pitch. How does that happen? It happened.
No, not even. So you come up, you're like, all right, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. And then you step off the plate. It's all over.
He threw to first, and they called a balk, and the runner scored. And technically, I mean, if you want to watch it, it wasn't a balk. Long story short is that walk-off walks are fantastic because it allows us the shrimp on a treadmill. All
I know is that the Dodgers won. They have the best record in the entire National League. They have the second best record in all of baseball behind Tampa Bay. And by the way, we're going to lead up to this coming up soon, but there's a week, May 22nd to May 28th. The Dodgers go to Atlanta and then to Tampa Bay, back to back. That is a huge, huge week, Clinton Yates.
That's in 10 days?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll get there.
That's coming up.
Most important stretch of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, that'll do it for Blue Review. Thank you to LAX. Thank you, Clinton Yates, and we will talk to you tomorrow.
Walk off walk.